May I invite the Dean, Academic Research, to announce the winners of the Institute Research and Development Award for the academic year 2013 and 14, and also read the citation for the awardees.
In order to recognize excellence in research and development, this year IIT Madras has introduced Institute Research and Development Awards. We have 3 levels for the award. Junior level, that's for the faculty members, of course. Junior level, below 40 years. Mid-career level, between 40 and 50 years. And senior level, which we call Lifetime Achievement and Institute Professor, which is above 50 years. So this year, we have chosen 7 faculty members, 3 at the junior level, 3 at the mid-career level, and 1 at the senior lifetime achievement. So I will read out, starting with junior level, the citations for the faculty members who are receiving awards for Institute Research and Development Award. The first awardee is Dr. A. Arockiarajan. Dr. A. Arockiarajan. Dr. A. Arockiarajan, a mechanical graduate, joined Department of Applied Mechanics in the year 2008 after completing doctoral studies at University of Kaiserslautern, Germany, and a year of PDF at the University of Nottingham, UK. His research interests focus on material design for appropriate applications using analytical, numerical, and experimental studies. He has successfully developed the state-of-the-art laboratory for characterizing active and smart materials with funds from various sponsoring agencies like DST, ISRO, ARM, REB, CSIR, DMRL, and NRB. The laboratory is one of its kind across India and very few laboratories across the world, which has served various institutes and research laboratories across India. After joining IITM, Dr. Rajan is training the scholars in the area such as nonlinear and rate-dependent constitutive models for bulk ferroelectrics, designing the computational algorithm for evaluation of these materials for coupled field loads, etc. He has published a good number of articles in peer-reviewed journals, contributed a couple of book chapters and conference papers. His research projects have received high commendation from the sponsoring agencies. His teaching and research caliber attracted many awards. In 2011, he is honored with INA Young Engineer Award. In last year, 2013, he became INE Young Associate. In the same year, Dr. Rajan received Institute Young Faculty Recognition Award from IITM for his contribution in teaching and research. Indian Institute of Technology Madras is proud to recognize Dr. Arockiarajan with Institute Research and Development Award, Junior level. Our next awardee in the junior level is Dr. Arun K. Tangirala of Chemical Engineering Department. Dr. Arun K. Tangirala obtained his bachelor's in chemical engineering from IIT Madras in the year 1996, PhD from University of Alberta, Edmonton, Canada in the year 2001. He joined the Department of Chemical Engineering, IIT Madras in 2005. With research interests in the broad area of process systems engineering and specializing in process modeling, control, monitoring, and applied signal processing, Dr. Tangirala's research group has been working on some cutting-edge research topics such as casualty analysis of process systems, compressed sensing, data-driven multi-scale modeling, and control of fuel cell systems. In parallel, his group has been actively involved in industry-sponsored interdisciplinary projects on defect characterization in oil pipelines, sponsored by BRNS, developing algorithms and models for data validation and weather forecasting, structural control using smart materials both sponsored by ISRO, and soft sensors for cement industry, jointly with FL Smith through external guidance. The outcomes of his research have appeared in the form of several research papers in leading international journals and reputed international conferences, where some of his works have received Best Paper awards. Dr. Tangirala has been a recipient of prestigious fellowships, namely the TUM IAS Institute of Advanced Study Fellowship from TUM, Germany, the Tsinghua University Global Fellowship from Tsinghua University, Beijing, China, the DAAD Research Stay Award, and the TUM Guest Professor Grant. Dr. Arun Tangirala is involved in a number of joint research works with leading international groups in the area across different parts of the world, such as Technical University of Munich, University of Delaware, Thomas Jefferson University, University of British Columbia, and University of Alberta. Dr. Tangirala has also been a recipient of several awards. As a PhD student at the University of Alberta, he was awarded the Graduate Student Teaching Award and the Leonard E. Gads Teaching Award for Excellence in Teaching. In the year 2010, he was the recipient of the Young Faculty Recognition Award conferred by IIT Madras. Indian Institute of Technology Madras is proud to recognize Dr. Arun K. Tangirala with Institute Research and Development Award, junior level. The next awardee at the junior level is Dr. Madhulika Suresh Dickship. Dr. Madhulika Suresh Dickship received her PhD in 2001 from IIT Bombay. She did her postdoctoral research at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, Memphis, USA, in the field of vascular biology, which involved studying the involvement of nitric oxide in the progression of atherosclerosis. She worked as a senior scientist from 2003 to 2006 in the Institute of Cardiovascular Physiology in Frankfurt, Germany. Madhulika joined IIT as an assistant professor in August 2007, and since then, she has been involved in understanding molecular players which triggers the onset of cardiovascular complications. Her research interests include endothelial dysfunction, endothelial progenitor cells, and their utilization in therapeutic neovascularization. Her team has published several peer-reviewed papers in well-reputed international journals. She is the recipient of prestigious IYBA and senior IYBA awards instituted by Development of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. She also has active and successful collaboration with clinicians in Chennai and scientists in other parts of India. Her long-term plans are to prevent initiation and progression of atherosclerosis for better management of cardiovascular complications such as heart attack and stroke. Indian Institute of Technology is proud to recognize Dr. Madhulika Suresh Dickship with Institute Research and Development Award at junior level. Now we come to mid-career level. The first awardee is Professor A.N. Rajagopalan of Electrical Engineering. Professor A.N. Rajagopalan is a faculty of the Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Madras, and works in the area of image processing and computer vision. Despite being in a very small group, he has become widely acknowledged both in India and abroad. He is well known for his contributions in recovering 3D information using optical defocus and motion blur as depth cues, restoration and in-painting of images, super resolution of image and depth maps, and recognition using face and gait. Professor Rajagopalan has served as associate editor for the prestigious IEEE Transaction on Pattern Analysis and Machine Intelligence and IEEE Transactions on Image Processing. He is a recipient of the DAE SRC Outstanding Investigator Award and the VASVIK Industrial Research Award. He is a fellow of Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers by invitation, fellow of Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, Germany, and fellow Indian National Academy of Engineering. Indian Institute of Technology, Madras is proud to recognize Professor Rajagopalan with Institute Research Award in the mid-career level. The next awardee at the mid-career level is Professor R.I. Sujith of Aerospace Engineering Department. Professor R.I. Sujith did his BTech in Aerospace Engineering from IIT Madras and MS and PhD at Georgia Tech. He joined IIT Madras as a faculty member in 1995. Professor Sujith pursues both basic and applied research in the area of thermoacoustics instability. He discovered the non-normal nature of thermoacoustic interactions and its role in subcritical transition to thermoacoustic instabilities. He is also credited with the establishment of the route to chaos in thermoacoustic systems and the discovery of intermittency in thermoacoustic instability. Recently, he has shown that combustion noise is chaotic and multifractal, and that the transition to combustion instability is a loss of multifractality. He has also developed several measures that can act as early warning signals for impending instability and practical gas turbine combustor. Dr. Sujith's expertise is sought by agencies like VSSC, DRDL, GTRE, and others. He has carried out sponsored projects and consultancy and technology leading to solutions of various industrial problems and the establishment of state-of-the-art facilities at IIT Madras. He has contributed to many national projects, including the GSLV Mark II, and the Kaveri engine, and many international projects, both governmental and private. He has also been the editor-in-chief of the International Journal of Spray and Combustion Dynamics since 2008. Professor Sujith is a recipient of several awards and fellowships, such as the Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship, INA Young Engineer Award, and DST's Swarno Jayanti Fellowship. He is also the only Indian citizen to receive Hans Fischer Senior Fellowship of the prestigious Institute of Advanced Studies of the Technical University of Munich, Germany. Indian Institute of Technology, Madras is proud to recognize Professor Sujith with Institute Research and Development Award at the mid-career level. Our next awardee at the mid-career level is Dr. Sundargopal Ghosh of Department of Chemistry. Dr. Sundargopal Ghosh joined the Department of Chemistry as a faculty in 2005. He initiated a new research program on boron chemistry and built a strong research group and infrastructure. He has guided a number of PhDs. He has published large number of research papers in reputed international peer-reviewed journals. Dr. Ghosh's outstanding contribution to the difficult field of boron chemistry is the development of a novel route for the synthesis of hypoelectronic metal clusters. He has successfully employed the methodology to synthesize novel 16-vertex boron clusters, hitherto considered a theoretical possibility. He is the only experimental boron chemist in our country today and one of the very few in the world. He personifies elegance, excellence, and diligence, and a spirit of enterprise and unbridled enthusiasm to delve into the unknown. He imparts to his students a value system that enables them to carry out original research. The Chemical Research Society of India, in recognition of his outstanding contributions, awarded him the CRSI Bronze Medal in 2013. Indian Institute of Technology, Madras is proud to recognize Dr. Sundargopal Ghosh with Institute Research and Development Award, mid-career level. And now, the senior level, the Lifetime Achievement Award, and the first Institute Professor of IIT Madras, Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala. Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala received his PhD degree from University of Maine and joined IIT Madras in 1981, where he leads the Telecommunication and Computer Network Group, TENET. He has been very influential in development of telecom industry in India, and TENET has incubated more than 50 companies in last 20 years. Initially, Professor Jhunjhunwala's focus was on making telephony affordable in India. He was very successful in this, driving policy changes and helping to promote companies that made affordable communications a reality. More recently, Professor Jhunjhunwala's focus is on broader problems of national dimensions. He has suggested creative solutions to the chronic problem of domestic power cuts in India. Initial field trials of these ideas are underway, and if successful, can be scaled up to solve a problem that is really holding back India's productivity. Similarly, Professor Jhunjhunwala is involved in driving rural employment strategies, developing affordable health solutions, and other areas where technology can provide uniquely Indian solution to the uniquely Indian problems. Professor Jhunjhunwala has received numerous awards. To cite only the few most significant, he received the Vikram Sarabhai Research Award in 1997, the Bhatnagar Award in 1998, and the Padma Shri in the year 2002. He has also received awards from abroad, including IBM Innovation and Leadership Forum Award by IBM in the year 2006, and the Bernard Law Humanitarian Award in 2009. Professor Jhunjhunwala is on numerical boards of companies and national organizations. He is a fellow of World Wireless Research Forum, IEEE, and many Indian academies. In recognition of his great contribution, the Institute is delighted to award Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala the Lifetime Achievement Award for the year 2014. And he is also designated. He is also designated as the first Institute Professor of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. I invite Professor Jhunjhunwala to respond to this award.
Thank you very much. Lifetime Achievement Award tells me that I've been here long enough. I've done whatever I have to do, and probably time to go. Well, I will certainly go, but not immediately. As long as possible, I will continue to do whatever is possible for the country. It was 1993, 21 years back. I remember that along with Bhaskar Ramurthy and Timothy Gonzalez, we were seized of a problem that confronted India of simply getting a telephone at home. I had to wait for 8 years to get a telephone at my home. And this was not just for me, this was happening everywhere. We are having 7 to 8 million phones for 900 million population, adding only 1 million phones a year. And that's the time I think we dared to dream and say, well, the biggest problem is local loop, and it is possible to do this with wireless. At that time, that wireless telephone can make a difference, can be cost effective, can change things, was kind of not envisaged. And I remember many of the people sort of say, well, these young professors, what do they know? But we're very happy today that India not only reached the 100 million phones that we had once dreamt of, it has 900 million phones, and most of them are wireless mobile phones. And India has significantly changed as a result of that. It was exactly 20 years later, after 1993, last year, I remember Bhaskar and I started looking at yet another very, very serious problem that is confronting India. As was mentioned earlier, this is the power cuts. While many believe that, well, somewhere the power cuts will go, but the power cuts stares at year after year, day after day, every part of the country, and gets worse and worse as you go to rural areas. 7 to 8% of the villages don't even have a grid reaching there. 30% homes do not have power at all. And even those which have, very often the power cuts can be as severe as 20 hours. We started looking at, while we had started working in energy on solar and DC power, whether we can do something. And I think we are fortunate, I will simply say we are fortunate to come up with a solution which we think will work. I'm not saying it will just, we think it will work, we are fairly confident that this will work. It's a very simple, as Kannan once mentioned, almost like a school level, high school level innovation. It is a innovation in power distribution, where a limited amount of power can be fed to every home, even in the worst power situation. Over last 1 year, we have been working on it. We have tied up with industry, about 6 or 7 different industries, working on different aspects of it. And we have actually built all the things. We have built all the things, we have deployed it on campus. And it is there in my home, in several homes. On campuses, it is there in our offices. And now we are starting to deploy it in 4 states, in Tamil Nadu, in Madurantakam, in Andhra Pradesh, near Hyderabad, in Trivandrum, near Kerala, and in a place in Karnataka. We do believe that once determined, things can change in India. And this is what we have tried to do in almost everything that we have taken up. India has large problems, but I think those of us who are confident of ourselves can make a huge difference. As many people out here have done, we can change things. And this is what we have done. We have always taken up problems which looked impossible, but we are just fortunate that as we keep on going on it, somewhere a solution emerges. We therefore dream today that by 2030, 50% of India's power will come from solar energy, largely from solar photovoltaics. And we just don't dream it, we are absolutely confident that that will happen. And work that we are doing is going to play a role in that. We also dream today that vehicles, 50% of India's vehicle, by 2030 will become electric vehicle. There is very little option. India has no oil and is not going to get oil suddenly. And we believe that this is possible. We will contribute to that to the extent that we can. And we will, our success has been because very, very large number of youngsters. First of all, we have always worked in a group. I had youngsters, Bhaskar Ramurthy, Timothy Gonzalez, and a whole number of faculty members, Giridhar, Devendra Jailihal, David Koel Pillai, started working with us in 90s, and that made things possible. Today I have people like Krishna Vasudevan and Lakshmi Narsamma and other young people working with us. We have a very large number of youngsters who leave their job, who leave their pursuit of trying to make money to come and start working with us when we have large dreams. And this is what we have tried to do, and we will continue to do this. Thanks to all of you who has given a very beautiful environment. This IIT Madras probably has played a very important role. I'll say Madras city and Chennai has played a very important role in my adopting this place as my Karma Bhumi and to serve the country. I think we have done whatever is possible. to serve the country, and we'll continue to do till we live. Thank you very much.
I now invite our director, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, to present a memento to our chief guest. I request Ms. Pallavi Chakravarti, the newly elected Speaker SAC, to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of the whole student body and members of the organizing committee, I would like to thank our esteemed chief guest, Shri Avinash Chander, all distinguished alumni who grace the occasion and are a constant source of inspiration to all of us, Director Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy, deans and other officials, all staff members of support department like engineering unit, administration, transportation and security section, the members of the press, and finally the audience who came here and made this event a success. Thank you.
Before we close this ceremony with the national anthem, I invite all the awardees, prize winners and their parents, and the invitees to join the Senate dinner at the Open Air Theatre. May I now request the audience to please rise for the national anthem. Janaganamana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidata Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव जय गाता जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे